Awaken, Mr. Doug. I am a ghost.
Ghost? Wait. Aunt Edna, is that you? Are you here to share the winning lottery numbers like you said you would?
We are the ghost of your Christmas past. Our job is to help you learn from your past money mistakes so that you can make better choices in the future.
Wait, I know that voice.
No, you don't.
Holy crap, Joe! You are the ghost of Christmas past?
Not just me. We are the ghost, Doug.
Sup, dude?
At two, Brute?
Doug, remember when you got into trouble with credit cards that one Christmas? Remember how you didn't ask for a raise that day because you didn't think it was the right time? The ghosts of the past, they follow you around, and we're here to make sure you make better decisions in the future.
Oh, one. I mean, sure. Yeah. Things like, how about buying a 4-bedroom colonial house when you have no kids on interest only at 6%
Who would do that?
without the credit to be able to do that. But because of the laws at the time, they didn't really ask you for your pay stub. And you're like, nah, this is probably a good idea. And you know what else is a good idea? Buying a BMW to put inside the garage of the new car before you make the first mortgage payment. Because you can't have a new house without a
Beautiful new car.
new car.
Yes. Not even new to you. Absolutely new.
Yeah, brandy new. Oh, it's so good. It's such a nice car.
No. I think this Ghost of Christmas Past has a similar tale. I mean, here I am giving people advice on managing their money and winning awards for the advice that I'm giving. And I have the worst credit score in history. My credit was so bad that I could I could not get a new car loan. I remember a mutual buddy of ours, Dan, told me, he's like, I came clean with him. And I'm like, hey man, my credit sucks. And I really need a car for our young twins. And he's like, go to a new car dealer because they give credit to anybody, quote, everybody. And so I walk into the car dealership and I tell the guy right away, I'm like, I don't want to waste your time. I got horrible credit. Guy's like, don't worry about it. What's your social security number? Walks back to the office. He's gone forever. He comes back and he goes, dude, like I managed to mess things up. But the point is, this stuff will follow Doug or any of our stackers around forever. OG, if you don't clean it up. How did you start getting your financial house in order so the ghost of the past don't continue to rear their ugly head?
I think you have to do a couple of things. The first thing is understand and be okay with the fact that you are where you are. There's a stuff going around right now on self-help world of extreme ownership, right? You know, Jocko and
David Goggins.
David Goggins. Oh yeah. He's all over my YouTube feed right now, which is that dude drinks the same Kool-Aid I drink. He just gets to swear more than me, which I think is unfair. But there can be too much of that, right? There can be too much of that. But at the end of the day, you know, you have to just be like, I am where I am, and do that without emotion and any of the baggage that goes with it, because a balance sheet is a balance sheet. You know, the company, you know, companies, Apple, whatever, they have to put out a balance sheet every quarter. Sometimes, you know, they try to massage the data, but if they don't, if they're not truthful, then everybody goes to jail. Like it's just is what it is at that moment. So be okay with where you are.
I love that advice because for me, I had to quit dealing with right now and trying to solve it to just be better tomorrow. I had to realize, OG, that if I want a year from now to be better, forget about today, tomorrow, and begin building a foundation. Because I think there's a couple lies out there. Number one lie that I was living, that I know a lot of people are living, is that if I just make a little more money, this will take care of itself. So to your point, I'm, telling myself over and over, making excuses. One of those excuses is, oh, I just not make enough money yet. If I just make more, you can, no matter how much money you make, you can't out earn your bad money habits. That's number one. And number two was I had to surround myself with better people. I had to finally create a team of people that would help me forget about tomorrow. And all of my creditors, who were calling me all the time, I had to just hang up on them and go, you know what, do what you got to do. But I got to finally build a base, and I got to start acting out on the same advice I was giving other people. Like I thought the advice I was giving to other people didn't apply to me, which is pretty funny. It's working for everybody around me and I'm not taking any of it.
Well, and I'm sitting here today, probably 6 or 8 weeks into like trying to make better health decisions for me, right? Like eating better and exercising a whole bunch and all this other sort of stuff. And my trainer is, constantly reminding like it's progress, dude. You're not going to, everybody. What does everybody want, right? Six pack and no beer belly. Like that's like I don't care what the rest of it looks like. Just shave that part off. It's like, well, tough. That's the last part, right? Like that is the last thing that goes, and it goes in weeks 52 and 53. And it's the same thing with your money. It's you have to build the foundation and the habits every single day because the payoff doesn't happen immediately. The payoff happens years from now, years and years. How long did it take you to get out of credit card debt?
Well, the cool thing is I thought it was going to take forever, and it seriously took me about 5 years. But that's only because after about a year of complete pain, I could see the construction happening and the pace quickened, partly because we got excited about it, and all of a sudden it became a game. Like, how fast can I do this faster? Can I do things better? Um, but I was going to say too, OG, that game began for us with the first move I needed to make. So let's get tactical for just a second. The first move I needed to make was not just to ignore the creditors. It was also, believe it or not, to ignore my debt, because I needed to stop using credit altogether. Like, I use credit again now because I can use it responsibly, but then I had to live an all cash lifestyle. And so the first thing I had to do was build my emergency fund. Like, and it seems weird, you're like, I got all this debt hanging out here at 25, 26, 27, 28%. Why the hell am I going to put money in a bank account earning nothing? Because if I didn't have anywhere to go for the next emergency, I was never going to turn the bus around.
Yeah. And just, I mean, you kind of breeze through it, but I want to spend a few seconds on it. And I know you said tactical, but when you're 25 and somebody tells you this, hey, this is going to take 5 years, that is 20% of your life.
Oh, good point.
You know what I mean? Like that seems like a super, super, super long time. Now be 45 and imagine the last 5 years of your kids, right? Boom. My daughter's 7.5 and I don't remember her, I think she skipped from 2 to 7. I mean, I don't remember tons in the 3, 4, 5, 6. It's just here's where we are today. And the time seems like forever, especially if you sit down and do the math on it. It's just like I'm going back to this weight loss thing, but it's the same thing. It's like, no, you should lose like half a pound a week. You're like, no, man, I got to lose 20 pounds. That's 40 weeks.
Right.
Like, yeah. So what? No,
I got to be new me by New Year's.
like, no, that's not that long. It seems long right now. Like 40 weeks. What are you talking? That's 20 pounds. I got to go to 20. I got to wait till next fall. Yeah. But when you're 55, spending 40 weeks of that, I mean, that's nothing, So you got to build it the right way and just be okay with the progress and not trying to. That doesn't mean you shouldn't do some immediate things right away, right? Like if you can build your cash reserve or negotiate.
That for me was job one. Was that job one for you?
I think so. I think for us, because of being a little bit helter skelter on like pay and that sort of thing, for me it was more of consistently making sure that I knew that my wife was getting paid and I was getting paid the same thing every single solitary Friday. Because our issues, a lot of them stem from the fact that the feast or famine life of being an entrepreneur. It's like I got all this money and now I have none. And then I have all this money and I have none. And it needed to be a little bit more, so for us, it started kind of more at the business level of how do we make this so that the paychecks are the same, even if they're not great, right? Just so that there's some consistency. We can, to your point, cash diet for sure.